So you have an amazing date with this wonderful girl just to receive a dreadful text. I had a great time with you last night. I just don't feel the connection. If this happens to you, you might have nice guy syndrome. There are 4 key behavioral changes that will get you from nice guy to confident, secure man. And this isn't about being an asshole. This is about learning how to assert yourself as your most attractive and confident version. Stay until the end because the final point is the most impactful. Point number 1 is to learn how to tease and break rapport. One of the key parts of being a nice guy is you are too afraid to break the rapport with the woman. Rapport is essentially how friendly the interaction feels. You don't want to be complete strangers and have zero rapport, but you also don't want to have a lot of rapport with no attraction and sexual tension in place. This imbalance is what will lead to a nice guy dynamic. She is going on a date with you to have a man to woman interaction. If she just wanted a friendly interaction, she could just hang out with her girls. Teasing is a #1 technique that will start to break rapport with the girl and thus build the attraction. Simply put, teasing women is poking fun at them. This could be by exaggerating things she says, denying things she says, or challenging things she says. Let's say she plays volleyball. If I playfully was saying something like, damn, I didn't know I was dealing with a professional athlete, that's me playfully exaggerating her statement. If I said, you wouldn't want to play me, I'd embarrass you, that's me playfully challenging. Really, anything is better than just saying, wow, that's so cool, oh my god, what else do you do? This is what the nice guy would do. Point number 2 is to give her space to chase. When you show too much interest in a woman, she begins to feel smothered and starts to view you as desperate. This could be shown in your texting behaviors or how you run the first date. If on the first date I start to question her relationship background, what she looks for in a man, and all these deep boyfriendy questions, it shows that my emotional investment is really high. And if I'm really invested, it starts to actually push her away because she begins to question my value. If this were a really high value man, why is he so into me so early? Is this how he is with every woman? Another behavior that might show this is talking too much about future plans. Oh, we can do this together, and we can also do this, and we can also do that. Yeah, Thanksgiving is coming up and maybe you can come to my thing. If you talk too much about future plans, it ruins the mystery and it really shows her that you are certain that you want her in your life. And I know what you're thinking. Why wouldn't the girl want to know that I'm serious about her? Because it's too early. Yes, with time, she does need to know this. But right now, when it comes to the courtship, you don't want to give this away too early. It ruins the challenge for the girl. She wants to feel like you're a catch. And you can't be a catch if you just fall in her lap. When it comes to your texting behaviors, you don't want to text her more than she texts you. It's really that simple and I could just leave it at that. But to get more specific with this, that means if she texts you bubbles that are this big, ideally you don't send her bigger bubbles and ideally you keep it to what she's sending or a little bit less. And if she's texting you every day, 2 times a day, you don't want to text her 4 times a day every day. A lot of you guys might not like these little games, but at the end of the day, it's not really a game, it's just reading her emotional investment. Really, you're just looking out for her and you just don't want the girl to feel suffocated by your affection. Point number 3 is to lead confidently. So what do you want to go eat? I don't know. I'm thinking, what do you want to eat? I don't know, whatever you want. This is not a good conversation to have. Women want a decisive leader. Women don't want another person who has indecision within him. Indecision is a very unattractive trait in a man. I'll be honest with you guys, I've struggled with this principle a lot. I think it's because I struggled with overthinking so much in my life that I just want to make everything perfect. So when I would think of a date idea or the next step or what I'm gonna order in the menu, I would just think and think and think and I would almost get like paralyzed by my own thoughts. This is very repulsive to a woman because she wants someone who is very certain in both himself and the plan. Women themselves aren't very certain and that's why they need somebody who's very certain. Without being the leader in the dynamic, the polarity starts to diminish. And when the polarity diminishes, she starts to view you as a nice guy. Of course, there's a balance here. And you don't want to just drag her along the ride. But when in doubt, I want you to be more decisive and a leader. This doesn't just have to do with the date idea. It has to do with every single lead throughout the date. When we're going inside the restaurant, she grabs my arm, I open the door, she comes inside, I talk to the person who's hosting, I talk to the waiter, I pull her chair back. It's all these little movements that show the girl that I'm confident confident as a leader. I feel the entitlement to lead you. This is very sexy to a woman. And the final point is to set boundaries. When I say setting boundaries, I don't mean you tell her specifically, hey, these are my boundaries and I don't want you to cross them. No. It just means that you internally have boundaries for yourself as a man. Tolerating disrespect shows the girl that she can keep disrespecting you, and it leads to an unhealthy dynamic. Because a girl doesn't want to disrespect you. She wants to have a man that she respects and a man that respects her. And this is why boundaries are very important. It all starts with the first interaction, the first date, the way you text her. For example, when you go on the date, I want you to have a boundary in your mind as to what you're going to do that night. It might be something like, I'm going to go to the bar with her, and then dinner, and then I might ask her to come home with me. And if she comes home, cool. If she doesn't, cool. I'm still going home. When you operate from this position of I have my boundaries, I have my plan, and I'm sticking to it, girls can feel that, and it's very attractive to them because it shows you have self-respect. A lot of men are so scared to ask the girl to come home with them. When it's done from a place of, hey, I'm having fun with you tonight, and I'm gonna go back home, chill, maybe watch a movie or something, you're more than welcome to come. The worst the girl's gonna say is no thank you, but in most cases she'll actually come home with you if you do it from such a confident place. Another boundary you set is this idea of there's certain topics you just don't want to talk about. Maybe it's religion, politics, and your ex, and her ex for that matter. I actually hear this one a lot with my clients, which is they'll go on dates and the girl will start talking about her ex. I instantly know in these moments that they came off too much of a nice guy on the date, because girls don't want to do this, and they'll only do it with a guy that doesn't come off like the sexy guy, but more of like the provider type. You don't want to be the shoulder to cry on, not on the first date at least. So when she brings up these topics that you don't want to talk about, you just stay light and indirectly switch the topic. It goes without saying that as you court the girl and date her more, you have to set more and more boundaries, and that will be for a different video. But that concludes this video, and if you got a lot of value and you want to improve your dating and pick up life even more, link is in my description to work with me one-on-one. That's all for this video. Have a great day. Peace out.